Hi everyone, I'm going to be walking you through how to do problem number 2 on your Lab 4 assignment. Problem number 2 is asking us to find the correlation coefficient and graph a set of data. The set of data in question is just a table regarding our studied and exam grade. So we're basically trying to figure out if these two variables correlate with each other. So you'll see on the left-hand side, we have our studied, and then for each student, and then over on the right-hand side, their subsequent exam grade. So we are being asked to use Excel to find the correlation coefficient, which is R, and then graph that data using a scatter plot and find a line of best fit. So I'm going to walk you through how to do that. Now, just like all of our other lab assignments, I'm just going to be using a different set of data. So the data on your homework is just a little bit different than the numbers that I'm going to be showing you an example of. So the first thing that we are going to do is we'll go ahead and find the correlation coefficient. Now, we kind of start in the same way that we've started most of our statistical tests on Excel. So we're going to come over here to the Data Analysis tab, and we're going to click on that. And we are going to select Correlation. So you just scroll down. It's alphabetically organized, so it's easy to find. We find Correlation, and we hit OK. Now, we're going to come over here. We're going to click Input Range. And I'm going to select everything in these two columns. So I'm even going to highlight the labels, because then you can come down here. This usually is automatically not on, but you can go ahead and hit labels in first row, which will include your labels whenever you process the test. And then we will leave it in the column setup. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to I talked about this in the last video that I did, but if you want your table just on the same graph, you have to select output range and then just select a cell. Otherwise, it'll just create a separate sheet. So, I mean, if you want that, that's fine, but I think this is easier. So then we're going to hit OK. And right here, here's our little table. It's going to show you that our studied and exam grade, your correlation coefficient is 0.86499,305. So I will go ahead and highlight that. And you can totally round to the nearest hundredth. You don't have to put all those numbers if you don't want to on your homework. Oh, I didn't need to do that. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so there's our correlation coefficient. That one's pretty easy to do. Now, another way that you could find your correlation coefficient, I will show you how to do that as well, but this part is kind of creating the graph. So, which will subsequently give you your correlation coefficient in the process. So, in order to do that, we're going to go ahead and highlight all of our data. We're going to go up here to Insert, and then we're going to come right over here where all the recommended charts and all of our chart options are. You're going to hit this one right here. It's going to drop down, and you're going to hit Scatter, the first scatter plot right here. You're going to hit that one, and it's going to pull up your graph right here. So right now it looks kind of wonky. It's just a bunch of little scattered dots, but we can go in and we can change it up a little bit. So first thing we're going to do is find a line of best fit. And in order to do that, we're going to hit on any of the dots, and then you're going to left click. There you go. And then you are going to hit Add Trend Line. Now we're going to come over here to the right hand side, and you can scroll down. You want to leave it in that linear line function. Don't change it to any of the other ones. If it's in one of the other ones, change it to linear. And then let me pull this up just a little bit. You are going to come down here to display equation on chart and display R squared value on chart. So make sure that those two boxes are checked, and then you'll notice that those two things popped up over here on your graph. You can go ahead and make that a little bigger. All right, so we have our equation of this line, and then you also have your R squared value. Now, your R squared value is just your R value squared. So if you wanted to find your correlation coefficient this way, you could just take the square root of your R value, which would end up being 0.864999305. So that's another way you could do it, but if you were asked not to make a graph, then it's probably easier just to do it this way. And then once you have your graph and everything, you can go in, add some labels, hours studied, and exam grade. And then you can come over here and you can add your titles, and you guys know how to do that from the other videos that you've watched. So I won't waste your time making you watch it right now, but you guys know how to go in and add your titles. So make sure you do that. And just take a screenshot of all your work. It should be pretty easy to do it all on the same screen, and then just take a big screenshot of it, or just send me your Excel file. A lot of you guys have been doing the sheets thing, so you'll do one problem on one sheet and the second problem on the second one, and that works great for me. But if you have any questions or anything about this lab assignment, just let me know. You can email me, and I would be happy to help you.